Alright, so today we started our main stories because I want to start with a couple of things that you may not believe that we, haven't done in this world yet. And if you don't consider us having a full main story system like this until like around about 2 years into the world, then this doesn't seem like it's too far out there not to be having, but yeah, we actually do not have a dedicated area for farming cobblestone, basalt, or stone at all. Of course, we do a lot of manual mining projects, we get a lot of stone. That's not an issue. We need basalt for our projects. We don't really have much because we never have a farm for it. And the same thing for the cobblestone. With the cobblestone, you're probably wondering, how do we craft so many pistons and observers and all that kind of stuff? Well, we have farms that are in specific areas that are, designed to function that way, like our ultimate redstone printer, for example, that has a cobblestone farm built into it. Other than that, there's no cobblestone farm. And it wouldn't make sense because to get the stuff out of the ultimate redstone area, it's a whole different bulk silo that's not even attached to the main crafting area. So you can't even access it. So what we're going to do now, which you probably already know from the thumbnail and everything like that, we're going to be making a fast way to get all three of these materials, and also this one right here. We get so much of this from the bartering, so we're not even going to bother storing it. But it's a cool feature that I think is within Carpet that I think should be a thing. Pretty much what it is, the same thing how it is with the basalt generated from the blue ice and soul soil. Instead of having the soul soil, what you do is you have the blackstone block next to it. And then this would create your blackstone. So that's what we're going to be doing as well. It's already included in the farm design that we have. So it's no extra wiring at all. I mean, this one is more wiring to begin with because you got to move stuff around, like taking water out and all that kind of stuff. So it's a bit annoying. So it's going to be a bit annoying to actually make the design, but I think it'll be a nice thing to actually see working. It is hot swappable as well, and decently fast. Not the fastest you've ever seen. Mainly because we don't need that much. I mean, I think the amount we're going for is already going to be plenty, especially since we're going to even burn the blackstone here. It's not even going to be worth it to actually make this farm in a sense. But if you ever wanted to add the blackstone, it would just be like another 20 some shulker box letters we could add onto it pretty easily. Yeah, it's really not needed whatsoever. So yeah, that's the main goal for today. We make a perimeter. Of course, everything's going to be going inside of our perimeter. Why wouldn't it be? It's not much of an investment, and we get to go do some cool decoration with it. And for the farm size, it kind of makes sense. I mean, you could definitely get away without doing a full-scale perimeter, of course, but where's the fun in that? So yeah, go over there, get this perimeter underway, and we'll be back once we have some progress with that, or if all the stuff is already completed decoration-wise. Alright, so the perimeter is completed. We have the full floor decoration as well as the wall decoration, thanks to Lilyrio's gradient placer. Looks pretty good. Obviously, light gray isn't always the best, but I think it works for this area. So it mainly fits the stone bit a bit more than the gray fits the basalt, as well as the cobblestone, and then we have the black for the blackstone, which wasn't originally going to be the design included in the design. We're just going to do cobblestone, basalt, and stone. But then I was looking for a slower than 2 million an hour cobblestone farm and stuff. And I came across this one right here that does cobblestone, basalt, as well as the blackstone, with the carpet mod game rule, of course. So yeah, bit of work underway here has been going so far. Obviously, this is definitely a interesting thing to build with all the walls and whatnot for the instant transportation lines and everything. So bit of a pain to say the least, but I mean, we're going underway there. We got all the shulker box letters down here that'll handle either mode. Of course, the blackstone's just going to get burned because we have so much of it from barter already. It doesn't really make sense to store any of it at all. If we wanted to, just attach a couple of loaders in the back here. That's about it, but I don't think it's worth it at all. But yeah, we had to use filtered box loaders because, like I said, the mode can change, and it's not an instant change, so we would get, different boxes of filled materials and whatnot that have been a lot of rewiring to the box loaders themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap the path of the water each time that we change the modes, mainly into Basalt or Cobble. It'll then correspond to the direct side. Obviously, I haven't done any filters yet because I don't even know what does what by default. So we'll see what it goes, and it should be pretty easy because the change in mode line is pretty much right above the sticky pistons here. So all I got to do is just power them both with a toggle, and then we're good to go there. But yeah, I've been working on this a little bit here, getting this main, feed tapes over to this blast chamber here. I just also finished the retraction failure with these lava here. You need this to be, obviously it's needed for the farm, and you can't just place something else to like block the stuff from falling, because then the TNT will blow it up. So you actually need to do that. It's very easy, simple slime block retraction failure with this, and you're good to go. I'll do it real quick for you here. So this is the whole setup that you need to do. See, this isn't the whole setup here. All you're going to do is you're going to just break. Your lava is going to be flowing on top of this. I don't have any more to show you, but actually I can go get it real quick. I'll do it with water too. That way it's a bit easier and it's not going to break anything down there if I do mess it up, but you shouldn't be able to do that. So yeah, we have the water on top of the piston head. There's a slime block on the back there that's going to try to retract into the obsidian, which it can't do, so it's going to fail. What that does is that doesn't send an update to the water. You may have seen this thing used in other stuff with like observers, because an observer can also not detect that piston moving back. So you can also use that there for like, this is also used in squid farms. If you wanted to do that, you could do this, but it's really not needed. But for this, we actually do need it for the certain way the thing works. Of course, you're not going to want to update this water at all. Otherwise, it will start to flow out. But yeah, it's a very simple thing to do. If you were ever planning to build this design here, you will need to do that, but it's very straightforward. I did it in about 30 seconds. So yeah, we keep building these conveyors here, then I'll start working on the outsides with the actual cobblestone farms themselves. The core is there. You can see we got the blue ice, the soul soil, and there should be a blackstone somewhere hidden in the depths around here somewhere. That way you can swap it out. So we basically just pull this thing back here, then we put the blackstone in, and then that's how you swap the modes for the basalt and or the blackstone generators. Okay, this one is definitely an interesting thing to make, that's for sure, but we gotta get it done. We don't really need the cobblestone now. We definitely will soon enough with some other decorations and whatnot that we are planning to do. So when we get back, get into the work on this, maybe do a little bit of a stream. So if you aren't already following, make sure you do that. Link in the description and down below, of course. I try to stream a lot of the grindy stuff that I usually can't include in the videos over there. If you wanted to see some behind the scenes stuff, definitely go check it out. Yeah, I'll be back once we have some more progress here. Alright, so the full area is completed here. We got the storage for the cobblestone. As you can see, we have run a little bit. The stone, I highly doubt we'll ever run this thing here, but we do have the capability with the stone farm that is right over here to do so. And then of course we have the basalt node right here as well. Those look like the backup has finished there. We have the XP farm for the stone up there. It's just so high up because of the portal linking, so it needs to be that high up. So unfortunately, we do need a player that stands right there that actually loads the spot up there, so that way the zombie pigmen from the portals don't despawn. So it's quite unfortunate, but I mean, one extra bot doesn't make a difference if we were to run this, of course, which is very unlikely. But with that, we can run the stone from over here indefinitely. Very nice and compact design. I mean, this thing is absolutely tiny for the output that it does. It just looks pretty sick. And we have our shulker box loaders of the stone back there. I just did two because they're not full speed 6x loaders, so we will actually need two, especially with hopper cooldown and whatnot. 2 will reliably pick up everything no matter what. It's a bit overkill on that front, but so I cannot complain there. And then down below on each side here, we have a metric butt ton of 6x shulker box loaders to try to compact all of the stuff produced from this farm, with the toggle for the farm type, whether it's in Basalt mode or Cobble. This is hot swappable as well, so if it's running, you have the farm on, you can still swap modes and it'll be perfectly fine. It just will take a little bit before the clock streams do convert over. So we got a bunch here already. I'm going to run it in Basalt mode because if we need anything, it's probably going to be Basalt. Of course, we have used a lot of Cobble for crafting observers and whatnot, but we still already have quite a lot of this in our main storage. It is currently overflowing with it. There's even about like 500k in a bit of Cobblestone here already just from testing. So yeah, let's run it in Basalt mode here. So I'm going to just put a bot here for insurance in case my client, for whatever reason, does crash. Hasn't before, but can never be too careful as there is no chunk loading grid associated with this. So let's just turn this on and see this monstrosity in action. It is actually quite crazy. So it uses the TNT rays from the corner here to explode them, but it also doesn't deal as much damage to the entities, such as why you're able to spam all the TNT there. So it's actually really crazy. I'm going to just turn my sound off here. That way you guys can actually hear me in the video. But what else I was saying, it uses that way because it's not the most efficient in terms of like the blast chamber itself, but the speed, it's actually amazing for this design to just keep spamming stuff into it, and there's very little stuff that actually does get broken here. So yeah, all that makes its way down, and because we're in Basalt mode, all the items are going to go over here into the 6x loaders, and you can tell we are just barely keeping up here. Should probably burn it a little bit. This storage vest thing can actually handle quite a lot, but apparently not enough, so I probably should like loop it around, but it's not that big of a deal, to be honest. If all these loaders are working at full speed, I think we have enough. How many actually is it? I actually do kind of forget. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 24 6x loaders is quite a bit. You can see we already got some boxes being output here. Yeah, the stream is actually crazy with this farm. It definitely is something, that is for sure. So I'm going to try my luck and push it over to Cobblestone. So that will then pass over there. See, eventually we will start to get some Cobblestone. And now we are fully in the Cobblestone mode, it looks like. Yep, everything's all good. So, like I said, you can swap it to whatever you want. Obviously, you will get some stuff that is lost, but it's really not that big of a deal because we switch it right as it goes across. So, yeah, there's that. And then now all the items are going over here into the Cobblestone sorter. So, really love how this farm turned out. It was a pain in what to make, but now that it's done, we can have endless amounts of stuff in very quick succession, as well as toggling between anything we want. The blackstone, I forgot to mention, that is only a carpet mod with a removable blackstone, so just something to keep in mind. If you wanted to use this farm, you will need carpet mod to do that. However, I highly doubt you're ever going to run this mode, so it's probably just best to make a design that doesn't have it. I just really like this look of design and whatnot. And yeah, of course, links, everything will be down in the description below to the Cobblestone farm, Stone farm, the shulker box loaders, all of that fun stuff. But yeah, this thing, really happy with how this turned out, and the perimeter as a whole. Simple but clean decoration, and even right now, with it running and a couple other things as well running on the server, it is really not that bad. Actually, probably go a lot higher if we wanted to in terms of rates, but this is more than plenty. So yeah, so do that stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, all sorts of things, and I'll see you in the next one.